Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to practice together using the Rainn technique to recognize difficult experiences and emotions. As a reminder, please do not use this video teaching to bring up or dredge up the most difficult things that you are working with in your life right now. This is really important because I'm not there to help you if you need it. So if you end up experiencing something that is very intense and too much, you can turn the video off and come back and visit it another time. If there is something going on in your life right now that is huge and you know that's where your mind is going to take you, then maybe you don't want to practice with this just yet. So go ahead and find your seat. If you need to pause the video for a moment while you do that, go ahead. Take a moment to connect to the breath and the sensations of breathing by taking a few deep and intentional breaths. If your eyes are closed, that's fine. Or if they're open, make sure you have a soft downward gaze. You might take a moment to scan through your body to see if there is any areas of tension that you can easily relax and let go. Now bring your mind to a current situation in your life in which you have felt a bit of emotional difficulty. This will be something that elicits an emotional reaction or elicited an emotional reaction like fear or self-judgment. Maybe you had a conflict with a coworker or a family member. Maybe you're dealing with an illness or chronic pain, working through an addiction. Maybe you said something that you feel a bit of regret about. But again, for the purposes of this meditation, please do not choose the most difficult or painful situation. We don't want to be triggering trauma. So if at any point you begin to feel overwhelmed or like your feelings are too much, please shift your awareness away from this practice, taking some time to find calm and a sense of ease. Maybe shifting your awareness to the breath or sounds, offering yourself some phrases of loving kindness and compassion. Now, keeping your intention or the situation that you brought to mind, take a moment to really enter the experience, visualizing the scene, what happened. You might be recalling some words that were spoken, sensing the distress that you experienced. Reminding yourself what was distressing or caused you to experience fear. You are getting in touch with the charged essence of this story as you begin to start exploring this healing practice called Rainn. Now, as you reflect on this situation, you can see that there is a story that you have in your mind. And you ask yourself what is happening right now, recognizing the R in Rainn, bringing your awareness to whatever emotions are the strongest. For some people, a mental whisper or noting is helpful. So you might use a mental note of anger, guilt, fear, grief. Now see if you can allow that just to be as it is. This is the A in Rainn. Allow, sending a message to your heart to let it be. Finding in yourself a willingness to pause and be with this experience. You can even experiment with some mental whispers like, this belongs, let be, or even yes. And this doesn't mean that you have to agree with what's going on. It means that you are willing to experience the reality of this moment. You might even find yourself saying yes to a big inner no, to the resistance or aversion, the unpleasantness. You might even be saying yes to a part of you that says, I hate this and I don't want to do it. So at this point in the Rainn practice, you have recognized what is happening and you have allowed it to be with you. Taking care not to judge, or push away, or control. Now you are going to call on your natural curiosity. This is the I in Rainn. Investigate. You might ask yourself, what about this most wants my attention? What is asking for acceptance? Asking these questions very kindly and gently, without judgment. And then take a moment to check in with areas of the body, paying close attention to your belly or your chest, checking in with the throat. These are areas that we tend to hold on to a lot of unpleasant emotions. You can ask, what is this part of me believing? For some people, this leads to a lot of thinking. If that's the case for you, then go ahead and drop it. And begin to investigate the somatic or felt experience in the body. So you're going to notice an area of tension or constricting. You will take note of any weight or heaviness, lightness. Taking note of any textures. Is it prickly or stabbing, twisting, pulling? Noticing then if there is any movement. Is there an energetic quality to this? Is it buzzing around maybe? And finally, you'll notice if there is a temperature. Is it hot or cold? Again, even if it's difficult, saying yes to the no, yes to the part that feels difficulty. If it helps to study your experience, you can experiment with breathing with these sensations. You might even Take a moment to bring your hand up to your heart, or the touch on your cheek as a way to be with this experience. You can ask the place where the emotion is located, what do you most need? Do you want me to be with you? Next, we are going to work with the first N in Rainn non-identification, making sure to remove the I am statements from the experience. Again, if there is fear or regret present, not I am afraid or I regret that. It is just simply fear, regret. And we're going to move into the second N, which is nurture. You might shift your posture even to attend to the space with your most open and awake heart. You might allow the touch of your hand to be with the experience. During your investigation, you sensed what this space is asking you for. So in this nurturing part of this meditation, respond to what it's asking for. You might offer some little words of wisdom or compassion and kindness. You can use little mental whispers by saying, I love you. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Or thank you for trying to protect me. It's okay now. So feel free to experiment with these phrases if that's helpful for you. These are ways of learning to befriend your inner life. So maybe words are not the best for you. Maybe it's just a soft touch on the heart or the cheek. Maybe you draw on some images in your mind's eye of some loved ones who are caring for you. You can even imagine giving yourself a soft hug from the inside, or a friend or loved one giving you a hug and letting you know it's okay. If you find this experience difficult, if you find it challenging to offer compassion to yourself, if it feels dry or mechanical, that's okay. It's pretty common in our society. So if that's you, and again, bring to mind somebody that you love and trust. It might even be your dog or cat. They're always there for you when you're sad or experiencing difficulty. They love you nevertheless. Allow the presence of this loved one or being, could be a spiritual figure even, to offer their loving kindness and compassion. Imagine that you are basking in that like a warm sunlight. And now that you have offered this beautiful and unconditional nurturing to your inner world, you have become aware of the quality of presence that has emerged. Notice what has changed or shifted from the beginning of the practice. Is there more spaciousness, tenderness? Maybe there's more clarity. Whatever it is, including remaining streams of difficulty, just continue to regard all of this with a kind and soft presence. This is the stage of the practice called after the rain. This is the time when we see rainbows or the flowers in the spring bloom. So you're sensing what has unfolded here today. Whether it was a small or a large shift, you're just noticing the difference from where you started. Maybe you began as an angry self, and now you are a calm and pleasant self. But also taking a moment to sense that who you are is not identified with your emotional state. So feeling this tender and wakeful openness that you have recognized. You are becoming more and more familiar with this natural wakefulness, giving yourself space to respond rather than react to your inner world. For the final minute of this session, please take a moment to offer yourself some deep gratitude for being brave and practicing today. I know this is not the most easy experience, but it is incredibly helpful and transformative. So as you offer this gratitude to yourself, sensing this wakefulness and openness, and recognizing that this is a deep practice of self-love and compassion, you are learning to become your own best friend. Imagine all of this goodness collected in your heart center, and then envision it going outward, bathing the planet in loving kindness and compassion, in gratitude, offering the merit that you have accumulated today outward toward the world. Thank you again for practicing with me this week. This is the end of Module 2, and I will see you in the next module as we explore mindfulness of thoughts. So thank you again.